The only way we're going to have a breakthrough here is with President Trump sitting face-to-face with President Putin and determining once and for all whether there's a path to peace. I frankly do not believe that we're going to have a breakthrough here until President Trump sits face-to-face with President Putin and determines what his intentions are moving forward. What I can say with certainty is that the president's, look, he's willing to stick with us as long as it takes to achieve peace. What we cannot do, however, is continue to fly all over the world and engage in meetings that are not going to be productive. Again, I was scheduled to be here anyways because of the NATO summit, and so it just wound up working out that way. But the only way we're going to have a breakthrough here is with President Trump sitting face-to-face with President Putin and determining once and for all whether there's a path to peace, and if so, what it is.
So, Mr. Secretary, I don't mean to be glib, but if that's the case, if there isn't going to be any breakthrough or any, is there any progress that you can make tomorrow, or otherwise, what's the point from your point of view?
We would hope so. Again, the level of team that was sent by the Russian side is certainly not indicative of one that's going to lead to a major breakthrough. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm 100% wrong. I hope tomorrow the news says they've agreed to a ceasefire, they've agreed to enter serious negotiations. But I'm just giving you my assessment, honestly. I don't think it's going to lead to that just because of the structure and how this is all played out. I think the next thing that has to happen here for there to be a breakthrough, if there's going to be one, is going to involve President Trump's direct involvement. And I believe the President shares my assessment.
It was President Trump who urged President Zelensky to accept this meeting with President Putin. What is the definition of what happened since then? And how did we end up from having Zelensky Trump and Zelensky Putin meeting to actually expecting Trump Putin meeting?
Well, again, it's not expecting. It's my assessment, which I think the President shares, that the only one who can break this logjam at this point, if it can be broken, is President Trump. He just wants to end the war. He doesn't care who gets the credit for it. He doesn't care who went first. He wants the war to end. He outlined this in his speech a couple of nights ago, where he talked about the fact that he hopes to live in a world where we are building, not destroying. And so that's what he's trying to do here, is achieve peace. At the end, we all have to remember that this is the goal here. The goal here is not to claim victory one side over the other or to gloat about who outmaneuvered who. The goal here is to end a conflict where everyday people are dying. And the longer it takes to end this war, the more people will die. This war will eventually end with a negotiated settlement. It will not end with a military solution. The problem is that every day that goes by, and the longer it takes, the more people will die and the more destruction there's going to be. And that's what he's motivated by, 100% entirely motivated by bringing about peace. And that's what we endeavor to do here. And so it's my view, which I think the President has publicly shared as well, it's his view, I should say, which I share, that the only way we're going to get a breakthrough at this point after what's happened here is for the President to directly engage, probably at a personal level, and determine once and for all what it is the Russian side wants and whether peace is possible.
Secretary, I was just wondering what the administration is doing at the moment to bring together President Trump and President Putin. I mean, are any messages being sent, and how soon you think such a meeting can happen?
Well, I don't know on the timeline of it. The President will have to determine that. And I mean, this is just an assessment the President shared today, which I 100% concur with, and now we'll have to figure out how to operationalize that. So probably we'll wait till he finishes with his trip, because the President's still overseas. We'll wait to see what happens tomorrow, and then those decisions will be made about a timeline and when and where those meetings would happen.